Without question, without reservation, it is time for the Eagles to bring Zach Ertz home. Dallas still stinks. Yo, by the way, Dingbat here. Hope everybody's having a great day. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're hanging in there. It is December 1st. Let me say, happy Cowboys choke season. That's right. Cowboys choke season has officially started today, and you gotta absolutely love it. Now, the Philadelphia Eagles need to do this. They shouldn't think about doing this. Howie Roseman can calculate the calculations of the cornbread, but find a way to bring Zach Ertz back. It is absolutely time for the Eagles. Now, before we get into it and a bunch of other stuff, if you're new to the channel and you like the content, make sure you hit that like button. More importantly, make sure you subscribe to the most censored, the most throttled Eagles content creator in all of the internet. And if you've been subscribed for a while, I just want to thank you for all the support you give to me. Now, today, later on, we are going to talk Eagles, Niners, and I am going to give you my preview and prediction of that game. But I have to say this. I have never seen a 10-1 team more disrespected, more treated like garbage than this Philadelphia Eagles team. It is absolutely absurd to me. It is absolutely ridiculous. How does Jalen Hurts on one leg go out and beat Dak Prescott, and yet everybody talks about Dak Prescott losing should be some sort of MVP? When do you get credit for being a loser? He's a loser, all right? And that's what they do. I'm sick and tired of it. I cannot wait for the Philadelphia Eagles to go in and kick the crap out of the 49ers this Sunday. The disrespect is real. Everybody in the media, everybody is picking against the Philadelphia Eagles. And it reminds me of the Lomas Brown Detroit Lions playoff game when he spoke a lot of crap. I feel like it's going to be a situation like that. We'll get into it in the preview prediction video. But man, I got to tell you, I'm really amped up about this game Sunday. I cannot wait, okay? And I will have that preview prediction video out later today. Now, as many of you guys know, Zach Ertz asked for his release yesterday, and he was granted by the Arizona Cardinals. Now, why did he get waived? Well, J.J. Watt posted this. Trying new things in retirement, so let's steal Adam Schefter's job for the day. Tight end Zach Ertz has requested and been granted his release from the Arizona Cardinals. The three-time Pro Bowler plans, listen, he plans to sign with a contender and make a run at his second Super Bowl. So he is going to sign with a team for a run. This is not maybe what if. Zach Ertz is going to go play for a contender to win the Super Bowl. Do you understand what we're saying here? All right, it's going to happen. So when you look at, legitimately, let's look at the top 5 contenders. He's probably going to end up on one of those teams, okay? Now, Ertz, he's been hurt. He only has 27 catches, 187 yards, a touchdown. He's averaging about 6.9 yards a catch, okay? So, they're not great numbers, but Zach Ertz is still Zach Ertz. He still can play. He still could be a great contributor. Jordan Schultz, shout out to my man Jordan Schultz. He said this. He said, keep an eye on the Pound Ravens, Mark Andrews out for the season, and possible Pound Eagles for reunion, still missing Dallas Goedert, as potential landing spots for Zach Ertz, should he clear waivers. The three-time Pro Bowl tight end wants to play for a contender, while both Lamar Jackson and Jalen Hurts are MVP candidates. So, Ertz wants to play a contender. And I will say this. I think most likely scenario would probably, and my number one favorites would probably be the Ravens. The Ravens seem like they would really go after Zach Ertz. If I was Ravens, I would go out for him because losing Mark Andrews is a big loss for them. You can't tell me Zach Ertz cannot help Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. So I think the Ravens are probably the favorites to land Zach Ertz. Now, the thing with the Eagles is this. You're going to get Dallas Goedert back. You are, okay? But we are kind of thin at our second tight end. So if you could bring Zach Ertz back to this team, he knows Goddard, he knows her, he knows this whole team, he knows the city, he loves it. He could probably come in and be pretty effective as a second tight end. So give you some 12-man personnel, things like that, that the Eagles could take advantage of in the playoffs. I think if I'm the Eagles, I would definitely try to do this. Now, you're probably saying, well, they can't get Shaq Leonard, and then they can't go get all these guys. How are they going to do it? That's what you have Howie Roseman for. That's what you have Howie Roseman for. Let him calculate the calculations of the cornbread. There's always a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. Where there's a Howie, there's a way. We have seen this so many times with this Eagles team. I mean, just think about over the last few years. How many times were you told the Eagles are done? They can't sign anybody. The Eagles aren't going to be able to sign anybody. They're not going to be able to trade this guy. They're not going to be able to make this move. And yet, here we are. Another year at 10-1, okay? It was supposed to, if you remember at the end of last year, you're done. Eagles are done. They're going to lose all these guys. They're not going to be able to sign anybody else. It's all over for you guys. You're done. Here we are, 10-1. The Eagles can figure a way to get both Shaq Leonard and Zach Ertz if they really want to. Okay? Now, we've heard some things with Shaq Leonard in terms of Shaq Leonard. Baldy was on a Cowboys radio station. And he was talking about that Leonard's favoring the Cowboys according to what he had heard. Maybe that's true. Maybe Shaq Leonard likes sacrificing chickens. Maybe he likes that satanic star on his helmet. Maybe he wants to have another losing season. It is Cowboys choke season. December 1st starts Cowboys choke season. Maybe that's what it is. So, to me, if Shaq Leonard goes to Dallas, well, then that opens up the pathway to Ertz. But even if Shaq Leonard decides to go to the Eagles, and I think the Eagles need Shaq Leonard more than they need Zach Ertz. Don't get me wrong, because they need the linebacker. But if they could easily get both if they want, especially if Zach Ertz decides that he wants to. If he wants to, come back to Philly. You can't underestimate the emotional connection, okay, of Philly for Zach Ertz. He may be willing to take less money. He may be able to give the Eagles a huge discount. He may just want to come in for the ride. He may be really open to it. He may want to come back to Philly and nowhere else. We just don't know. But bringing back Zach Ertz to head into the playoffs, you have another tight end to give you some depth. I think you got to think about it. And I think you got to go out and get him and Leonard. I say do it both. Do both, restructure a contract. Howie will manipulate, cut somebody here. Howie figures it out. That's what he does. You don't have to do it. I don't have to do it because Howie's going to do it. Let him do it. But get it done. If I was the owner, I'd be like, Howie, where you at? Oh, yeah, you're calculating calculations? Well, calculate this. Get Shaq Leonard in here. Get Zach Ertz in here. Don't waste my time. I'm the owner. That's what I want. I also want a pizza. Get me some cannolis and have it sent up here. But get it done. And I get it done. And that's it. So I think you got to watch Ertz to Philly. Could you imagine in a week's time the Eagles, if they were able to land Shaq Leonard and Zach Ertz to their roster? I mean, that would be some great depth on both sides of the ball. We'll have to see. But I think anytime you got a chance to get better, you got to get better. Here's the other thing. If he wants to go to a contender, do you want him going to the 49ers? I mean, he's going to be behind Kittle. It's going to be kind of hard. Do you want him going to Dallas to help them out with a tight end? Probably. They probably wouldn't do it anyways. Baltimore actually seems like the most realistic. Like, if he goes to Baltimore, he's probably going to get the most playing time because of them missing a tight end. So he could actually probably get more playing time in Baltimore. I would honestly say I think Baltimore sounds like it would be the favorite to land Zach Ertz. But you can't underestimate the attachments and the ties to Philly and the Eagles that may want Zach Ertz. He may just want to come back. It's so weird because A few years ago, I had a dream that Zach Ertz played for the Arizona Cardinals. And, and I was talking after the 2020 season, I was saying, we got to trade Zach Ertz now. Now's the time to trade him. People are like, yeah, can't trade him. The Eagles waited a year too long, I think, but they traded him. But now you're at a point where he's definitely not going to take any snaps from Dallas Goedert. He knows his role as being the second tight end. And I think that if he's willing to come in back to Philly for a run, I say bring him back. I say, what do you have to lose? Just my thoughts, just what I'm thinking. We're going to find out. It's going to be interesting. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's HOWIE vision, baby. We're all just living in it. Big Sills, when the Eagles win, I'm giving you the Mark Holmes treatment. You're getting the Mark Holmes treatment, buddy. With that said, Denzel Washington out.
Oh, God. No. I want to be like the Eagles.